The UUOP gang are at Universal Orlando, so we, the theme park duo, are going to school you on Universal Studios Hollywood. You're listening to episode 390 of the unofficial Universal Orlando podcast. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the unofficial Universal Orlando podcast.
Hey!
It took me every ounce of my being not to say the Theme Park Duo podcast. If you don't recognize our voices, that's because we're not Lee, Tracy, Darren, or Chris. Not that I could be four people. But we are people from a different podcast completely taking over UUOP for this episode.
I'm sorry there are no British accents.
I told Lee I was going to do a completely horrible British accent just to spite him, and then I needed to say something to offend all of them all in one shot. But I think I'm not going to do that. I don't know. I don't want to put off the audience that quickly. That was the last thing I want to do.
Yeah, let's save that for
our own show.
For when and if he invites us back to do another one of these.
Or when they're our own show. We could ruin that.
Okay.
We can't ruin theirs.
Okay.
But if you don't know who we are Gabe.
And Nikki.
And we're from the Theme Park Duo podcast, and we are, I guess, brother-sister shows with UUOP. We're partners in crime. Lee and Tracy are very much the British version of us.
Yes.
And we are the American version of them. So, Lee asked us on to kind of do an episode, a complete takeover of the show, and we enthusiastically said yes. So I could burn it to the ground.
Oh, no.
No, definitely not that.
I have the fire extinguisher. Don't worry.
Nikki is the controlling element here, making sure I don't do anything horrible as she takes a drink out of her White Claw. She needed to have this.
I am terribly shy. I courage up.
Courage up. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Well,
and I'm a little intimidated because it's not our show.
Yeah, you have to be on it.
Yeah.
You have to be really on it.
Yeah.
Well, and then, we are having a small drink for this episode. Nikki is having a black cherry White Claw, and I am having a blonde ale Town Park. So, yeah.
Let's get going.
Yeah, let's jump into this thing. So this whole episode is going to revolve around Universal Studios Hollywood from the perspective of somebody who's coming and is used to Universal Orlando Resort or just Universal Studios Florida, Islands of Adventure, that sort of a thing.
Well, I guess it's our advice for those people because we are West Coasters.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Universal Hollywood is our park, but we've been to Universal Orlando. So we know the differences, we know the compare and contrast, and so this is our advice episode for people from the East Coast coming to Universal Hollywood for the first time.
Or anybody who's from anywhere across the globe who's just used to Universal Orlando Resort.
All you middle of the United States people, too.
That Midwest, I meant, like, in other countries, not just the Midwest.
I meant the middle.
Even though the Midwest could be another country if you're not used to it.
Yes.
But, yes, that is the episode.
You mean the United States isn't just California and Florida?
No, of course not. No, it's not just Anaheim and Orlando.
Just not places with theme parks that are Disney/Universal?
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Yeah, no, it's completely... Knott's Berry Farm is a completely different country.
Yeah.
That's like third world compared to these two parks.
Yeah.
Just joking. I love Knott's Berry Farm. A lot.
Yeah.
So I say that with a warm heart. But anyway, jumping into this topic, we have a list of things that we want to kind of go over as, like Nikki said, our recommendations for when you plan your trip out here. So let's start off with the first thing on our list, which I actually think this is probably one of the most important things to even think about before coming over here.
Yeah. Basically, if you're used to Universal Orlando, just know that you are downsizing when you come to California.
It's like switching from a house to an apartment.
Yes. It's a one-day park at its best. And for someone who's used to, all of the stuff in Orlando, like Universal Hollywood has very few things on its own that aren't shared between the two.
Yeah, there's a handful of things.
Yeah.
But most of them are, like you said, shared attractions. So when you look at them, you have Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey, you have Minion Mayhem, you have Transformers, the Simpsons ride, all those things. And if you want to look at it from a slightly weirder perspective, you have Fast and Furious Supercharged. Although one part of that is on our studio tour, as opposed to it being its own attraction.
Yeah. So, our first recommendation is Universal Hollywood is a one-day park. And if you're going to come all the way out here from anywhere in the world, if you're not local, branch out. Make Universal a part of your trip, but take into consideration where you are.
You're in Los Angeles.
You're in Los Angeles. Go to the Griffith Observatory. Go,
Hollywood Boulevard.
Find a place to look at the Hollywood sign. Go
get a questionable tattoo in a questionable store.
That is not my recommendation.
That is mine.
Go to Grauman's Chinese Theater. It's a little tourist trappy, but it's got its charm. Branch out entirely and drive a little bit and go to Knott's Berry Farm, for another day, because that has many more.
So your advice is don't go to Universal Studios Hollywood.
No, I'm saying make Universal Studios Hollywood a part of your trip.
Hollywood.
You're flustering me on purpose. Okay, you know what I'm trying to say, audience.
Yeah, I would say exactly what Nikki said is kind of take into account where you are. I think if you want to take your time at the park, you could stretch it out into 2 days. You really could, but you would end up having some repeat things. You would have to go kind of slow, because I do assume that a lot of people who are going to be coming over from another state or another country are probably going to shell out the money to have Express. Yep. So when you have Express, you're going to go through all these things very, very, very quickly.
Oh, yeah.
So, I guess it kind of gives them a little bit more time to kind of appreciate the smaller things of the park, which is something that we necessarily didn't get to do when we were visiting Universal Studios Florida. We were kind of just going so quickly and going through it all that we never really stopped and just kind of, I guess, quote, smelled the roses in a way.
We couldn't. That's something that I think you kind of have to be local or go several times to experience. We've only been once, kind of twice.
Oh, there's another attraction that I realized that they don't have.
What?
We're going to be talking about that coming up very, very soon. But Kung Fu Panda, they don't have Kung Fu Panda.
Yeah.
So that's another one.
That's a fun
They still have
show.
Shrek.
Yeah.
Sorry, I apologize.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know why I bowed. No one gets to me bow, but I bowed. But yeah, so that's kind of our recommendation. It's a one-day park. Don't expect there to be as much content as there is at Universal Orlando Resort, and if you want to spread it out between 2 days, you can. It's just you're gonna have a lot of wiggle room to kind of just explore the park.
Yeah, and then go have fun in the city.
Yeah, and then our second one is just have realistic expectations, because it is a smaller park. It is very different. The layout is extremely different.
One good thing is that it is smaller and your feet won't completely kill you at the end of the day.
Because half of the walking is from escalators.
Yeah.
What is it, like the longest series of escalators in California or some craziness?
Something like that. It has some record. Oh, piece of advice. Do not look up or down when you're on the escalator.
Complete vertigo.
You'll get vertigo. It's insane.
Gnarly.
It's a steep escalator. It's scary.
It's actually very steep.
Yeah.
It kind of freaks me out when we're going up and down it at Horror Nights, and just like you're just really tired and you look up one gaze and it's just like tunnel vision up the top of the stairs. It's a lot.
I did it with a baby strapped to my chest. That was terrifying.
Yes. Could the stairs count as an attraction? There's 300 and something stairs.
Yeah.
See how fast it takes
to climb
up there.
them. That was a mistake.
Guarantee you it's going to burn off the Krusty Burger you ate at lunch.
Yeah.
Tell you that much.
Let's talk about the unique rides or attractions to Universal Studios Hollywood.
So we had just mentioned
Kung Fu Panda.
The newest attraction that we've received is Kung Fu Panda, which replaced our Shrek. And a ride that's not quite open yet, but should be opening up very, very soon, which is Secret Life of Pets Off the Leash. Uh-huh. So that is actually something that's going to be opening up that's solely unique to us as of now.
Yep.
We'll see how well it does, and then it might end up moving to Orlando. It seems like that's kind of what they end up doing. Supercharged. But that ends up happening. And then, other than that, there are only a few more things that are genuinely unique. One of the things that I still consider unique, although it's technically the same ride, is Revenge of the Mummy the ride. We both have a version of this attraction, yet both of our versions are like drastically different. It's
They're
the same.
very different.
It's the same name, but it's a different ride. So for anybody who's not familiar with our attraction, don't skip it thinking, oh, it's going to be the same thing that we have in Orlando. I don't want to waste my time doing that, which is exactly how I would think if there was an attraction that I knew was the same, like Transformers or Simpsons Ride.
Yeah.
But ours is very different. Maybe not for the best, but it is very different.
I prefer it, but that is an unpopular opinion.
You are allowed to be wrong, so that's fine. But ours is much shorter. There is a bigger significant play in when it goes backwards.
Yeah.
The launch isn't uphill. It isn't like over a dip. There's just less space, so they had to be creative in how they kind of worked with things. It's very, very different. There's no Brendan Fraser screaming for his coffee or anything, which kind of makes me sad because I kind of want to see that a little bit. But there's none of that. They play it off like it's a real curse, but then they still clap, which is confusing.
Yeah, that's just a universal thing.
Very much so. But I would definitely check out The Mummy, even though it has a similar name. Know that it is a different attraction completely. Another attraction that actually opened up pretty recently is Jurassic World. Now, Jurassic Park is still open over at Islands of Adventure. I believe right now it's actually down for some refurbishments. But we got the revamp, and it is pretty different.
Yeah, it is. I like it a lot. I thought I was going to be very, bitter because, I love Jurassic Park so much. But it's really cool what they did, and the additions that they did with, the water dinosaur and then just the kind of changes they did in the last room before the drop. I really like it.
I keep going back and forth. There's a part of me that is still very much in love with the older aesthetic of the browns, yellows, and reds of Jurassic Park, and hearing the theme associated with that, and seeing the Jeep, and seeing the T-Rex, and
Jeep
just
that never
kind
worked.
of, yeah, pretty much, and just having the gates kind of open and being this kind of awe-inspiring moment of seeing all the Ultrasaurs, with their long necks kind of standing up.
Uh-huh.
That was a very cinematic, and it's fitting, it's cinematic in a movie theme park here.
Yeah.
Cinematic opening to an attraction, arguably one of the best that you could find.
Yeah.
And they got rid of that. I mean, the tunnel scene with the Mosasaurus is very, very cool.
It's not as grand, though.
It definitely isn't.
Yeah, it's not as awe-inspiring.
It's something about it just being enclosed, which to me kind of takes away a little bit from the grandness of it. Even though the screens are huge, even though the supposed size of the dinosaur is massive, I think it's just the difference between having something practical versus having something that's a screen.
Yeah.
No, I think that's I mean, your mind knows it, even though you're looking at the screen, you're like, okay, that's really big.
Yeah. And it's also
your mind
just
knows.
not as pretty.
It's subconscious.
Yeah.
It's also not as pretty, for sure. I would agree with that. As long as as soon as you get out of that tunnel, it becomes very similar. Nothing really has changed till really you get to the Predator Cove.
Yeah.
So, which, be forewarned, is very bloody.
Yeah.
if you just keep looking to the right, you'll be fine. But as soon as you look to the left, you just see mangled corpses of pterodons and stuff, and they're just mangled and torn to bits and blood everywhere. It's actually quite violent. It
is. Yeah, you were shocked the first time you wrote it.
Well, yeah, I looked over to the freaking Texas Chainsaw Massacre over there to my left, Who let out the Velociraptor with the chainsaw? What's going on over there? It's just weird. They should have had water effects shooting out of those dinosaurs, like it's blood.
Oh, yeah.
Shooting with blood,
That'd be funny.
Or just put a fire effect there for no reason whatsoever. That's the one thing missing from that Jurassic World is fire.
Yeah.
You have giant dinosaur animatronics, you have screens, and you have water. There's just no fire.
Yeah, the Indominus Rex could have cut a gas main or something.
Yeah, cut a gas main?
Yeah.
Yeah, that would work. That would have been cool.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that is another unique attraction to Universal Studios Hollywood. And for me, I don't know about you, arguably, outside of the last thing we're going to be talking about, is probably the coolest and most near and dear to my heart.
I agree.
Attraction that's unique to Universal Studios Hollywood, and that is Waterworld.
Waterworld!
So I see this show every single time I go to the park.
Yeah.
It never changes, but it also never gets old.
Yeah.
Which is weird. That doesn't happen often. And, it's almost like lightning in a bottle when it comes to that kind of stuff, because usually when you have a show, kind of like if you have like special effects stage show,
yeah,
that gets boring. Even though the gimmicks are fun.
Yeah, I can only see that like once a year.
Yeah, but it gets boring.
Yeah.
Waterworld never gets boring.
No. And half of that is just the talent that they have in there, because you're sitting there waiting for it to start, and they have guys out there like hyping up the audience, and they're doing funny things, and sometimes they switch it up and do different stuff, and and it's great seeing the actors' interpretation of something we've seen so many times. And there's certain stuff, of course, the technical stuff that they can't change, but they change it up every once in a while.
Yeah, it's the kind of how they interact with the audience or how they say a line.
Yeah.
A lot of that could really change the experience, and you're totally right.
Yeah.
And a small little clue for people who haven't been to this park. There are seats, and they tell you if you're sitting in this colored seat, you will get wet. If you're sitting in the gray seats, you won't get wet. If you're like, oh yeah, I'll sit in the wet seats, that's fine. I probably won't get that wet.
Or like a last row of the wet seats.
Last row of the wet seats. No, you're going to,
yeah.
And they will make sure that you're going to get wet. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Is that I've seen these guys take buckets of water,
walk
into the crowd, go to the last row, and just choose somebody and dump water on their head.
If you sit in that green seat, you are in for it.
I'm not going to lie. I've sat in the row behind that row, and I've gotten soaked.
Oh, yeah.
It's because they have these jet skis that come out, and they fling their tails, and they just shoot a giant wave of water.
Yeah.
It's a little intimidating, because you're like, oh yeah, I'm going to get a little wet, and then you get completely drenched to the bone.
Which, on a hot day, is fine.
Hey, ain't bad. By the way, never, ever volunteer for anything with these guys. They are during the pre-show, they are kind of the inhabitants of the atoll, and they kind of do this bit where they kind of have the crowds chant against each other. Oh, they'll choose somebody in the crowd and just completely soak them. They kind of have those pump water guns, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Where you had it they were like pool toys as a kid.
Yeah.
It was like a clear tube with two handles, and you just suck the water into it, and you press it down, and it shoots a giant stream of water at someone. And they have these great, really fantastic gags that they'll do, where they'll shoot somebody, and then they'll try to get them to come up and hand them one of those guns, and it'll be empty. So when they try to do it, it's empty, and then they get sprayed from both sides, and everybody yells and cheers and hoops and hollers. It's actually, that's honestly probably is my best part. That's probably the best part of the entire thing. Yeah,
you're just waiting for that gag. But it's funny seeing the audience reactions to stuff, and, it's just a great experience every time you go,
It's always really cool to hear the whoa when the plane comes flying over.
Yeah, well, don't give away the grand finale.
It's been there for how many years? No, come on. And that's not the grand finale. We've also done an episode on it. It's no spoilers.
That's true. We did it. But this isn't our show.
So what?
These people don't listen to our show.
Lee and Tracy know what it is. They've talked about Waterworld on the show.
That's
Chris
true.
and Darren know what it is.
That's true. Well,
dumb.
Well, listeners, go back and listen to Theme Park Duo episode on Waterworld. I'm plugging our own show right now.
Shameless plug.
No, it is. But it's good information. And we interviewed two of the stunt people for the show. So they talked about, behind the scenes stuff, and it was super cool. So go back and listen to our Waterworld episode. Super fun.
Yeah, we actually interviewed the guy who does the giant high dive at the very end of the show.
And the girl.
The
only girl.
He's completely on fire, and he just to kind of give you a little tidbit of information that he was able to share with us. He said that when he's set on fire, he has to hold his breath until he's put out. Yeah. Because there is so much fire that if he were to take a breath, he would literally inhale flames.
Yeah.
Which to me is I swallow a hot cup of the coffee and I'm screaming my head off. I can't imagine what that would feel like. You get your throat barbecued.
That's why you hold your breath.
But he's holding his breath while also falling through midair into water.
Yes.
which means you have to hold your breath once you're in the water, too.
And the whole acting part before that.
Yeah, because he has to do a particular type of fall that doesn't feel like he's falling on purpose. Has to feel like he's trying to take a step, and then he falls.
It's all stunty.
Yeah, I forgot what the name of what the name of the stunt fall it is, but it has a particular name, and he actually goes into pretty deep detail about kind of all the different falls that he does, and the safety that kind of goes into the different stunts. And the prep work that kind of goes into it as well. Yeah. It's actually a really interesting episode.
It's one of my favorites, actually.
Yeah, you should. And I think that's because we like Waterworld so much.
No, but also it's just a good episode.
True.
Super interesting. But yeah, we love Waterworld. Best show at Universal Hollywood. Definitely go see it.
Mm-hmm. And then the last unique attraction that we can talk about here is the tram.
Of course.
Universal Studios Hollywood started off as a working studio first. It was never supposed to be a theme park.
It still is a working studio.
Yeah, it still very much is. So I think that's also another reason why it is what it is in comparison to Universal Studios Florida, where they built the park, but they also built sound stages for them to film. So it was kind of built with a dual idea of utilizing it in different ways. And Universal Studios Hollywood, it was very much an afterthought for a theme park.
Yeah.
You know, back in the days when they would film silent movies, they would have people come onto the lot and charge them, like 5 cents or something, and they would stand there and watch them film silent movies because it was a silent movie. It didn't matter if people were talking. They just would shoot what they needed to shoot and get it done. I think slowly but surely, and I don't quite know the history portion of this very well, which actually would be an interesting history episode.
Yeah.
But slowly but surely ended up turning into a theme park. Which is the reason why we have the escalators in the first place, because, you know, studios were built in the side of mountains for sound and things like that. So we have the escalators because of that reason. You know, our park is definitely it's like floor 1 and floor 2.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then the tram could be, all intents and purposes, floor 3 because it goes all the way out into the back lot.
Oh, I thought of another tip.
What?
Oh, okay. So
do you want me to put it on the list, or do you want to just bring it up now?
I'm just bringing it up now. Be aware that the lower lot does not open at the same time as the park. You know?
Yeah, that's actually important.
Because sometimes we have a game plan, especially when Jurassic World was opening, we're like, okay, we're going to get to the park at opening, we're going to rush down to the lower lot and get on Jurassic World, you know? And then we get there at opening, we're at the gate, we get in the park, we get to the top of the escalator, and it doesn't open for another hour.
I believe we have a vlog of that moment actually happening.
We do. Aaron was asleep on my chest in the baby carrier, and we're just waiting there for an hour at the top of the escalator. So be aware that the lower lot does not open at the same time. So go with the game plan of doing stuff on the upper lot first. You know, do Hogsmeade, do the Simpsons ride, you know, do Secret Life of Pets. Get some of that stuff out of the way before the lower lot opens.
Good. That's actually a very good one. I actually forgot about that completely.
Yeah, I forgot about that. I still forget about that every time I go.
Yeah. So the tram is actually a very fun actual attraction on its own. It takes up to an hour to actually do. It's like 45 minutes to an hour.
Yeah, and then the line, yeah.
What? What about the line?
Well, the actual tour is usually around 45 minutes.
Yeah, it's like 45 to an hour. It depends on if you stop, because there's actually filming going on on the back lot. So sometimes you actually have to stop.
Yeah.
And they'll tell you, hey guys, you just don't talk for a little bit. We have to stay quiet. They're shooting right now. Once they're done shooting, we'll let you know when you can talk again, and then we'll keep going on with the tour.
And then sometimes it's a little shorter because they have to cut stuff out because people are filming in there.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, there's this street that's famously known as the Desperate Housewives Street because that's where they filmed it.
Or the Munsters, or the street where they filmed The Burbs with Tom Hanks.
Yeah, but all I was trying to say was that
I was just saying because it's cool to hear what else was shot there.
Yeah, but all I was saying is that sometimes they're filming on that street, so it's cut out of the tram tour, and so they can't drive down there. So, you know, sometimes stuff is cut out, which makes it a tiny bit shorter too. So.
Yeah, we the last time we went on the tram tour, they actually cut out all of the New York sets.
Yeah.
We didn't go on them at all, and that was because they were shooting a Super Bowl commercial. Uh-huh. So you never know who you're going to see. I did see Nicolas Cage on the tram tour once. That was the only celebrity sighting that I've had.
I don't think I've seen anyone. There is a famous story of Jim Carrey dressed as the mom from Psycho, jumping out of bushes and scaring the trams.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, if I were a famous person, like, that level famous...
Oh, I would totally...
And I was on the lot, I would totally F with people.
Yeah.
Totally mess with people. That would be a lot of fun.
There was one time that, just recently, we were going for the opening of Jurassic World, and we had to park in the parking structure that's usually for employees. And we had to walk through the back lot while Universal was still open and the tram tours were still going on. And it was so funny because you and I were walking like just down the side of a soundstage and a tram comes next to us and they're all looking at us and some of them are like taking pictures and I'm like, dude, I'm nobody. Like it was really funny.
in that moment I actually had forgotten that you've never had that experience
No,
before.
well, you're used to it. Like you're used to it. But for me, that was the first time that's ever happened to me.
I wasn't trying to say that as like I'm a big deal. That's not what I meant.
I'm an editor. I'm in the entertainment industry. I go in the backlot all the time. No, that was the first time that I've ever been on the other side of the tram.
It's a cool feeling.
No, it's super cool.
It's a really cool feeling.
Yeah.
So the tram itself has a lot of parts to it. You know, it isn't just hey, we're going to go check out these sets. There's a lot of entertainment portions of it as well. You have King Kong 363D. You have Earthquake. Earthquake was closed when I went. You have Fast and Furious Supercharged.
They film in Earthquake all the time still.
They shot Bones.
An episode of Bones was in.
Yeah.
It was in the Earthquake.
So there's all those portions to the attraction as well, and it's actually quite fun because you actually get to see some like behind the scenes of some of the attractions. So like you see the backside of Jurassic World, like the main entrance, like the big Mosasaurus tank, like you see that. You actually get to see people actually working on set, and I would say that if you're going on a weekday, you have a better chance of catching somebody who's famous because most of the time, if you're going like on a Friday, Saturday, or Sunday,
nobody's there.
But if you have Monday through Thursday, that is a good chance of actually catching anybody.
Yep.
You know, so the tram is just very unique and very different. It's such a huge part of the history of Universal Studios Hollywood that it would be a complete horrible situation if you were to miss it, because it is like the top most unique thing you could find. Like they're not going to recreate the tram, even though they tried at Universal Studios Florida. They tried to recreate it, but you'll never find this type of thing ever again. And ride it while you can, because who knows what the future holds. Not that I know of any information where they're going to get rid of it, but you know, there were rumors swirling that they're like, we're going to charge separate for the studio tour.
Yeah, no, they're not
going to do that. Don't do that. That's like the worst idea known to man. Don't ever, 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 ever do that.
Yeah, so basically, top priorities is tram tour and Waterworld. And everything else is fun.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And then our next kind of tip is do your research on the food.
Because there's not that much of it.
Well, it's like just inevitably because the park is smaller.
Yeah.
There's less options. And there are familiar options that you'll find. You know, you'll find Krusty Burger, you'll find 3 Broomsticks, things like that. But then there's going to be really unique different choices, like the Jurassic, what is it called? Jurassic Cafe? What is it called?
Yeah, Jurassic... It used to be Jurassic Cafe.
Yeah, it's the restaurant right next to Jurassic World. It's like it's Jurassic
right next
something.
To Isla Nublar.
It's making me really mad.
Yeah, and there's a bar down by Jurassic World now, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isla Nublar.
Isla Nublar.
So, that is actually, that has like a lot of unique food items there. A lot of fish items, which is actually kind of cool. And you would think like, fish, other than like a beer battered fish.
No, it's good.
You question it a little bit. But the actual quality of the food is so much higher than most of the other food offerings.
Yeah, I would say, personal opinion, but also probably, majority of people may agree with me. If I was going to Universal, I would choose to eat at either 3 Broomsticks or that Jurassic World Cafe down there.
I would 100% agree with you. My third option would be Krusty Burger, because I actually think the burgers at Krusty Burger are actually genuinely good.
They're good. The fries are good. That's just a decent, theme park fare, and it's good.
Cletus's Chicken Shack isn't that bad either.
It's not
but
bad
I would
either.
Still choose. They have like a waffle fried chicken sandwich, which is really good. I would still choose a Krusty Burger or like the Clogger over that.
Yeah.
The Clogger. That's such a crazy name.
Stupid name. I get their veggie burger.
Yeah,
and
you like
good.
it.
Yeah.
You really like it.
That's good.
Veggie section. There's not been a veggie section in a long time. I blame Tracy. Hardcore. She needs to get back on that horse and ride that horse into the veggie oblivion.
Oh my god.
And figure everything out.
Sounds violent.
I don't know what the veggie oblivion is. I really don't. I have no idea what the hell the veggie oblivion is. But she needs to figure it out and go there and have a veggie section again. It needs to happen. So, definitely do your research when it comes to the food options. I know Lee and Tracy don't really like Three Broomsticks because it isn't traditional British food. But if you were to,
it's just good theme park food, though.
Yeah, if you were to take if somebody said this is traditional bangers and mash, and just say, hey, here's sausages with mashed potatoes. That's damn freaking good, sausages and mashed potatoes.
Yeah.
Really freaking good.
And you know what? I've been to Ireland. I know what fish and chips is, but this is good theme park fish and chips,
Yeah, it's not bad. It's definitely a step up from most of the places in Universal Studios that's serving up the typical theme park fare.
And you get butterbeer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, why would you skip butterbeer?
Yeah.
Get your nice little mug.
Yeah, butterbeer. Hot butterbeer. Year round. Oh my god, that's one big plus for Universal Hollywood. Year round hot butterbeer. Done.
Yeah, I don't think Tracy doesn't like butterbeer.
Is Tracy the sole decider of what everyone else likes?
On their show, kinda.
I am saying that's a big plus for Universal Hollywood.
Nikki just raised her hand.
I am not Tracy.
She was gonna hit me.
I was not.
I'm scared.
I was not.
Moving on.
No, that's a big deal. That's a big plus.
No, you're right. Hot butterbeer is my favorite butterbeer.
You didn't even acknowledge me that's a big bonus that we have hot butterbeer year round, even when it's 110 degrees.
You are correct.
Yeah, hot butterbeer, shot of whiskey, fish and chips. Boom, perfect day.
Fire whiskey in the hot butterbeer.
That was implied.
No, it wasn't at all. It just sounds like you wanted to drink a butterbeer, then you wanted to take a shot because you needed a break between that and eating.
Before I eat the untraditional fish and chips.
You need to have the butterbeer, then a palate cleanser of a whiskey shot, and then eating the fish and chips.
No, in the butterbeer. It's amazing.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I think I've talked to Lee about this in many conversations, but I don't know if I've ever said it on his show. Fire whiskey, so Fireball, inside hot butterbeer. You will be very thankful after you have it. It is like your mouth is full of Christmas, which is weird, but that's exactly what it's like.
Let's talk about nightlife.
So there's pretty much no nightlife at Universal Studios Hollywood when it comes to the actual park. It
closes early.
It doesn't often stay open late. Rarely when it does stay open late, and it's because there's
an event.
There's either an event like Halloween Horror Nights, or which that closes and reopens. But then there's a show in Hogsmeade, which either is the Dark Arts at Hogwarts Castle, Christmas lights at Hogwarts Castle, whatever it is.
Yeah, they're open later on the holidays. And weekends. But still, even their weekend hours aren't that late. They're not open late. So, you have to plan for that too, that you can't plan to put stuff off to way late at night because they close early because it's a very residential park. They have restrictions on how late they're allowed to do stuff, so they close pretty early. And so
the tram closes
at 5.
Well before the park closes.
Yeah, so you really have to plan ahead for that stuff. So it's not a nightlife park, but City Walk is another story.
Yeah, well, City Walk is very similar to their City Walk in the sense that there's a lot of restaurants, there's a lot of stores.
There's a movie theater.
Even in their sense, they have the mini golf and stuff. There's more to do at their City Walk.
There is more to do,
but it's similar in the sense that it is a nightlife there.
Yeah.
It's not in the park.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, we need to take a little break to hear from our sponsors.
You've started the decade off with a bang, so why not continue the party with Mardi Gras at Universal Orlando Resort? Celebrating their 25th year of the event, join us for this fan favourite with special food, parades, and even weekend concerts featuring the likes of TLC, the All-American Rejects, Diana Ross, and more. And yes, there will be beads. This event runs nightly from February 1st to April 2nd and is free with your daytime park admission, so there's no better time to plan your next Universal Orlando Resort vacation. Be sure to let the experts at Mouse Muggle Travel Company take care of all your travel needs. Earning the distinction of being an earmarked agency specializing in Disney destinations, as well as becoming one of the first to be named a U Preferred agency with Universal Parks and Resorts vacations. Mouse Muggle Travel Company will ensure you receive top-rate customized service. Just visit mousemuggle.com to fill out a non-obligation quote request, or send your request to info@mouseandmuggle.com. Their team can take care of you no matter where in the world you go. With a flick of their wand and a little bit of pixie dust, the process will be so seamless. Some might even say it's simply magical.
Hey, Gabe.
What?
Let's talk spooky.
Well, before that, I do have to say, we're using Michelle from Mouse Muggle for my quick trip to Halloween Horror Nights.
Uh-huh.
Absolutely love Michelle. She's a sweetheart, and they completely rock. So if you guys haven't used Mouse Muggle for any of your travel tips where you want to go either to Universal Studios Orlando, Hollywood, Disneyland, Walt Disney World, or anywhere in between that's not even a theme park, make sure you contact them because they completely rock.
Yes.
So, continue.
Spooky.
Spooky? What's spooky? I'm scared.
That's what we're talking about now.
Oh.
In the second half, we're going to talk about Halloween Horror Nights.
Oh, this is the Halloween Horror Nights section of the show, everyone. Turn down your lights. Get a little spooky. Get real close. Stay warm together because it's about to get scary.
I feel uncomfortable.
I'm sorry. It's supposed to be spooky, not uncomfortable.
That was like seductive, spooky place. That was really weird.
Come to this haunted house with me.
And we're sharing a mic, so you're like breathing on me. Yeah. It's really gross.
What? I'm supposed to be Al Pacino in Scent of a Woman. Yeah, that's definitely off course.
Okay, let's go back on course.
Coming up, HHN 30, Scent of a Woman, The Maze.
Don't give them any ideas.
It's nothing worse than Billie Eilish Maze.
Yeah.
Moving forward.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk a little bit about how Halloween Horror Nights works at Universal Studios Hollywood. Now, we've gone to Halloween Horror Nights 27 out over in Universal Studios Florida, and it was so different. It was also a breath of fresh air. Halloween Horror Nights here in Hollywood is very different than out there in the sense of kind of how it operates and the amount of original mazes, things like that. So we kind of wanted to go over a little bit about those differences so that if you are coming here for Halloween Horror Nights, just to kind of get that experience, these are things to kind of look out for.
Yeah.
So the first thing that we have on the list is the amount of houses is similar, but the crowds are going to be crazy more insane just simply because of the footprint.
Yeah. It's a lot fit into a small space.
Yeah, and, unlike your park, Universal Studios Florida, there are sound stages that you're building stuff in. We're not really building things in sound stages until, the last 5 years?
Yeah.
Where Alien vs. Predator or Black Sabbath 13 in 3D, I believe those things were in sound stages, but, most of the stuff is built outside in an extended queue of, Jurassic Park or in the queue of Waterworld, backstage, there's a lot of things like that. So the footprint is just not the same. Really look at the map and figure out where everything is. The strategy of going to the maze that's in the farthest part of the park first is still the same strategy. Yeah. That doesn't change. The experience changes because of the layout, like we've already talked about. It's on 2 different levels.
And just the crowds.
Yeah, the crowds are just... They feel worse.
I feel like they are worse. I feel like no matter when you go, you're going to have crazy waits, except for maybe 1 or 2 days early in the season.
It's like either you're going the last 2 nights of the season and you could go on everything without a front...
Yeah,
without an express,
literally November 1st
or
and 2nd.
super early in the season, you could go on with everything without express.
Yeah.
But I would suggest if you're coming out here, if you're shilling at the money to come all the way out here, get express, if not do a VIP tour to get everything done.
Yes.
Because you don't want to come all the way out here and not finish everything. Because even though you may have similar IPs, if you would have Killer Clowns, it's completely different creative teams working on these things, so you're going to want to experience everything, even though it's the same IP. So that's kind of one big thing for us. Another thing on this list is there's less original houses and there's a much bigger focus on IP.
Yeah, I feel like Universal Hollywood HHN is just starting to get into the IP. Or not IP, sorry, the original houses.
I mean, they've had original in the past,
but not,
it just has never been overly consistent.
Yeah, not consistent. It's not every year. Like, I think if my memory serves, it was like La Llorona in 2012, then El Cucuy somewhere around 2016, 2017.
There was definitely a different original house that appeared before those.
Yeah.
I just can't recall what it is off the top of my head.
Yeah.
I know that that House of a Thousand Corpses showed up before the movie came out, so who knows if that's considered original too?
I don't think that's considered because they do a lot of trailer mazes. Like,
but this is
Crimson
before.
Peak,
This is
Dracula,
before. This is before the movie came out. Period. Like, it wasn't
before
made.
It was even an idea.
It was an idea, but it was never a trailer or filmed or anything.
Yeah.
So that was kind of how all that started. I have an issue with
trailer mazes.
Yeah, I don't like trailer mazes either. Even though Crimson Peak was gorgeous.
Crimson Peak was amazing.
It was absolutely beautiful.
But it was like scene by scene the trailer.
Yeah, pretty much.
And the same thing with Dracula.
Same thing with Exorcist. Terrible. It was the forbidden trailer version. You know, that was his inspiration, which is the reason we have all the strobe scenes in between, you know, the bedrooms.
Yeah.
So
you either loved Exorcist or you hated Exorcist. But we're getting into a whole slew.
That's a bigger conversation.
We're getting into a whole slew of like side topics.
There are less original mazes than they are to IP mazes. Last year, I think we had 2 original mazes or 3 original mazes or something.
Pandora's Box.
Pandora's Box, Holidays in Hell.
Holidays in Hell.
I think that's it, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we had 2 out of the 10 mazes that were original. So go in knowing that you're not going to get that kind of stuff. But I do have to say, similar to Universal Studios Florida, original mazes end up usually being better.
We really liked them.
Higher on our list when it comes to the mazes.
Yeah.
Not always the case.
Definitely not always the case.
But I tend to like them more.
Yeah, we do.
So, next, Nikki?
Next is when they have it. They didn't have it last year. Who knows what the future
We got
holds.
2 extra mazes because of it.
We did get 2 extra mazes.
The jury is out on whether or not it made a big enough impact.
Yeah. So what we were talking about is Terror Tramp, which to me is
the reason to go to Halloween Horror Nights.
The reason to go to Halloween Horror Nights Hollywood is the Terror Tram, and I was so devastated when I heard that last year they were getting rid of it in order to put 2 mazes in their queue. Now those 2 mazes,
Pandora's Box and Us,
were amazing. So they kind of lessened the sadness a little bit. But
Us is the maze that made me scream the loudest.
Yeah, no, it gave me one of the biggest scares of the night too. And it's just, and I love the movie. You know, I love the maze. But I did miss the tram tour. I miss, riding on the tram, getting to get off and walk on the back lot, through the War of the Worlds crashed plane set,
through Seuss, the How the Grinch Stole Christmas set,
in front of the freaking Bates Motel. Oh my god!
In front of the Psycho House.
Come on, how is that not like
incredible?
Just, oh my god, it's amazing.
That is the huge reason why I was sad when it wasn't around either.
Yeah.
To me that even though the themes for Terror Tram haven't been the best, even though the scares on the Terror Tram are few and far between,
it's the novelty.
It's the novelty of getting off of the tram where you don't normally walk, and you get to have that type of experience. And to me, that is far more worth it than the scares.
That is worth the price of admission to me. At least the first or second
very
time.
Unique thing.
After the years you get jaded, you're like, okay, Bates Motel. But that first and second time I did that, I was like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, I'm right here. Oh, Tom Cruise walked right, it's like that type of feeling, So that is amazing to me, and for first timers, I can't even imagine, know. So I'm sad that it was gone last year. I hope they bring it back and updo it in the future, and find a good theme for it.
Updo it.
Do it
up.
Whatever. I just, I hope they find a theme that suits it well, because I think that's the biggest struggle they have.
No, I completely agree, and I think there's been successes in the past, complete failures in the past as well.
I think the heyday for me was when Walking Dead was super popular, because Walking Dead was like such a good fit, because it's like that's where you don't want to be enclosed in walls in a building when you're like thinking about The Walking Dead. You want to be out in the wilderness, you want to be out in this like post-apocalyptic plane crash, like some real happened here, like, oh my god, there's zombies, it's like that to me fits so well. And it's not that you particularly love the Walking Dead IP, it's just the zombies fit that atmosphere of walking and being on your own out in the open. That to me was perfect, but you can't do that every year forever.
Yeah, for me, one of the themes that worked really, really well, and that's because they tied it in with the history of the park, and Hollywood is, I think it was named Hollywood Harry.
Hollywood Harry, the clown.
The clown.
Yeah.
So it was a clown that worked at Universal Studios, and then he got fired, he got disgruntled, and he pretty much just went psycho and lived on the back lot, and then people would catch sightings of him on the back lot, standing in places he shouldn't be standing, or he left a balloon there. Very Pennywise-esque.
But yeah,
but
it was before the whole It reboot.
Yeah, it was very unnerving, just the whole idea of it. So each one of the sections of the tram were kind of different vignettes of things that a clown would like.
Yeah.
But just the idea of Hollywood Harry and like kind of releasing videos out into the world, like, oh, what's that over there? I caught something, and like almost found footage-y type stuff was really fun.
And they did Hollywood Harry 2 years, I think.
Did they?
I think they did. And I remember the first year being like, oh my god, this is so smart. They have like this whole backstory, and I remember they even released stuff before Halloween Horror Nights even opened, like, who is Hollywood Harry, and all these things, and then they had this whole like little backstory playing while you were still on the tram, and I thought it was so smart and so clever, and I loved it that year. But then I remember they brought it back the next year, like Return of Hollywood Harry or something, and I was like, okay,
it just wasn't as good.
Yeah, no, you have to keep it fresh,
Yeah, with the tram, it can't be the same thing over and over and over.
Yeah.
So. But yeah, the Terror Tram is a huge reason to go to HHN in Hollywood. Hopefully they'll bring it back, so if anybody's going out there for the first time, they actually get to experience it, because it's really, really cool. Sometimes they even have Norman Bates photos on the steps of the Psycho House, so
yes,
make sure you get that. So that's a good one. You'll see it, because they make you walk up this dirt hill, and you'll be like, what's that big line? And it's the line to take a picture with Norman Bates.
But it's still worth it to do once.
No, totally.
I have a picture of him.
Terror Tram also closes significantly earlier than the rest of the park for Halloween Horror Nights, just FYI. And then another big plus for Halloween Horror Nights here in Hollywood is that they actually put mazes on the back lot. So the same stuff that we were just talking about with the Terror Tram and saying, like, oh, we get to walk on all these sets. You actually get to walk around the sets regardless of the Terror Tram, because they put mazes on the back lot.
Yep.
All in the New York sets, because they actually put scare zones back there, and they put 3 houses back there.
Air quotes, scare zone.
Air quotes, scare zone. But 3 houses back there, and you get to actually see the sets, walk around on the fake grass, and see the facades, walk up next to it, and actually touch it. That's really close to where Back to the Future was filmed. That's really close to where like Big Fat Liar was filmed. Bruce Almighty. I mean, like countless movies were filmed back there. And just knowing that you're stepping in areas where these historic films have taken place is pretty freaking cool.
Oh yeah, I'm still in awe. And I think they've done that for like what, 3 or 4 years now.
They've done it for a while.
4
now,
years,
yeah.
maybe.
I don't know, but they've done it. They've definitely done it for a while.
Yeah, and I still get like feelings when you go down there. It's like it's so cool, and I feel like last year, or the year before, they did this cool thing where they did like projections in the windows, so it looks like things are happening up there, like someone's getting murdered, or someone's like peeking out.
That actually happened. That was real.
Someone actually got murdered.
Yeah.
I totally don't believe you.
There was fire effects.
Yeah. So I mean, I think that's super cool. So and it's fun being back there, and I think they could. We've talked about this on our show. I feel like they could utilize that space better, because they have a air quotes scare zone back there, but it's you're funneled through it. It's not just a place where you would just be like ordering a hot dog or, waiting in line for something. It's you choose to go through it or not. So to me, that's not a scare zone, but that's nitpicky. And when it's super duper duper crowded, it's not even worth going through because you're a sardine.
It's the mass of humanity walking through really tight
you
passages.
Can't even get scared because you can't find the scare actors.
Honestly, the monsters can't go through the crowd, so they just kind of stand on the edge going, "Hey!"
Yeah, so it's totally not worth it. I personally don't even think that if you don't do it right, don't do it at all. I don't think that should be there. But it's just really cool being down there, going through the mazes down there. So
yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
And lastly, the last kind of point that we want to point out about Halloween Horror Nights is do not expect our Halloween Horror Nights to be as well-rounded as your Halloween Horror Nights.
Yeah.
It just isn't. It never will be. It never has been. That's just the way it is.
Yeah. Different
creative minds, different event, different location, different footprint, different thought process when it comes to originals and scare zones and IPs
and scares in general.
Scares, the different types of scares.
Yeah.
Just in general, it's going to be very, very, very different.
Even different vibe that you get from the scare actors.
This year was a bit different because they had two mazes that were very comedic. Or like three mazes that were very comedic. So the vibe of the entire event kind of changed, which was kind of nice.
Yeah.
But overall, Halloween Horror Nights in Hollywood doesn't feel cohesive.
Yeah.
It feels very hodgepodgey, like puzzled with pieces that are missing for some reason or another. Universal Studios Florida definitely feels like a much more cohesive, well thought out plan. That being, I'm assuming, because they have a lot more to work with, more money, more area. There's a lot of things to play with. But regardless, don't come into Halloween Horror Nights here and expect like the same level of well-roundedness when it comes to the event. It's going to be very, very different. Not worse, just different.
Yeah. Also, if you're here during that time of year, go over to Not Scary Farm.
That's not a suggestion. That's literally telling them to leave.
No, they're here on vacation. They're here for several days, several nights.
So
also,
what to expect out of Universal Studios Hollywood from the perspective of somebody who's used to Universal Studios Orlando Resort? Don't go to the park. Go to
I'm
Not
saying
Scary
in
Farm.
addition.
This is a side note. This is the subtext of everything. Just go to Scary Farm.
Go to Scary Farm. Yeah. If you want a more HHN Orlando vibe, go to Scary Farm.
Well, I mean, there's plenty of haunts out here that you could check out that are similar vibes to Horror Nights.
Scary Farm.
That's not the same vibe. It's completely different.
Go Haunted Hayride. All I'm saying is, okay, my main point from this episode is if you're on a vacation...
is don't go to the park. Screw the park. Go other places.
No.
It's just different.
All I'm saying is if you're on a vacation, you're here for what? A week minimum?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah? You can't spend a week at Universal Hollywood. You just can't do it, even if you go to Halloween Horror Nights.
They get stir crazy.
You can't do it.
I can't eat Panda Express anymore.
Branch out. Like, go other places. That's all I'm saying. Spend a day at Knott's, you know what? And if it's the time of year, like we brought up HHN, so if it's that time of year, go to Scary Farm. You know, just branch out. You're in California. There is so much to do.
Southern California, to be specific.
Yeah, Southern California.
If you're in Eureka, a lot less to do.
It's a big, long state. You know, I mean, Florida also has that problem.
It's a big, long state.
It's true.
So is Florida.
Yeah, I just said that.
Oh, I didn't hear you.
I said Florida also has that problem.
This kind of stuff.
But you know what? They're not that far away. They're what, like 30 minutes apart?
Florida?
Yeah, Florida and California. No. Knott's and Universal.
Lee's probably just going to cut your rant out. You realize that?
Don't give him any ideas. This is a very good point I have, and you are making a mockery of it. I'm mad. I'm going to leave. All I'm saying is you're in California. Have your fun at Universal. Know your limits. It's a small park, you know, and then just enjoy California because there's so much to do. That's all I'm saying.
No, it's a valid. It is a valid.
Go
point.
to Venice. Go to Santa Monica. Go to other places. I live. When you live somewhere, you never do any of the touristy things. But there's so many. Take a Star
TMZ,
Wagon.
Take a TMZ tour.
Yeah, take a TMZ tour. Those are super fun.
Go to Rodeo Drive.
I
Santa
don't go to
Monica.
Rodeo Drive. I don't even go there.
The thing is that the people who don't know what it is want to go.
Yeah,
it's
that's
different.
true. Fine, go
You know
to
what I mean?
Rodeo Drive. Go to the La Brea
Grove.
Tar Pits and LACMA.
The Grove.
Like do all the fun touristy stuff. It's like that. You're here. You're here. If you are here and you only go to Universal, you are doing yourself a disservice. I think part of the appeal of Universal Hollywood is its location. So you have fun at the park, and then you leave the park, and you take advantage of this wonderful city you're in. Go see a show at the Hollywood Bowl,
You sound so angry.
I'm passionate. There's a difference.
All the people are like, does Nikki live there? Because I don't want to go there now. I'm kind of scared I'm going to run into her.
Just don't go to
She's going to yell at me because I
You
spent
won't
4 days at Universal Studios Hollywood. And I ate at Panda Express all 4 days instead of eating at Krusty Burger or Three Broomsticks.
If you spend 4 days at Universal Hollywood,
I commend you.
I don't know. I can't even spend 4 days there.
This conversation has come full circle.
Yeah, we're done.
It's come full circle. Yeah. That's what we started on. Yeah. This is what we're ending on. We hope that if you are planning a trip out here to Universal Studios Hollywood, this information can help you out in your planning of your trip, with your itinerary of what you're actually going to do when you're here, what you're not going to do. Truly hope that it helps out. And hopefully you were entertained by this drastically different episode of UUOP, where we completely took it over.
Lee and Tracy have to return the favor.
Oh yeah, Lee and Tracy will be on our show taking it over, bringing a little bit more class to it. Well, maybe not. Who knows? It depends on what they do. But we want to thank Lee and Tracy, Darren and Chris very, very much for having us on the show and having us completely take over the show. We've been on the show before with Lee and Tracy.
Yep.
Unfortunately, we've actually never been able to record with Darren or Chris. I definitely want to do that at some point. Either them come on our show or us go on the show and we time it out.
Yeah.
Working out. But eventually I do want that to happen. So, huge thank you to you guys. We actually love your show. We love UUOP. We're fans ourselves. We love hearing your guys' perspective. We love hearing all the wackiness that comes from all four of you. So we're fans of the show. We appreciate the show and the hard work that you put into it. So now have fun editing us, Lee.
Sorry, don't cut me out, please.
Let's see if he listens to the entire thing, because if he listens to the entire thing, he's going to have to bleep me out right now.
Oh my God.
So either he's going to bleep that out or just completely cut it out.
Oh, man.
So, anyway, if you guys want to listen to more of this nonsense of us, make sure you check us out on our podcast, which is the Theme Park Duo Podcast. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, or other podcatcher apps of your choice. And we talk not just Universal Studios Hollywood or Universal Studios Orlando Resort, but we talk
everything.
Yeah. Haunts, conventions, parks in the Midwest, roller coasters, dark rides, literally everything under the sun when it comes to themed entertainment. Even interactive horror experiences, interactive theater, things like that. So we have quite a plethora of different topics that we end up covering. So if you want to check us out, like I said, our name is The Theme Park Duo. Gabe and Nikki, and hopefully we'll have a few more listeners checking us out.
Yeah.
So.
Also, we're on all social media.
Yeah.
Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Theme Park Duo.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. We just hit 1,000 followers on Instagram.
Yay!
That's a lot.
Yeah.
And that's no small feat for us, but for some people it's like, oh, it's like 34,000. It's like, yeah, but I have 1,000, and that was a lot of hard work.
Rant. Literally, someone at work, I was like, oh, we just hit 1,000 followers on Twitter. They're like, oh, did you just, or on Instagram, they're like, oh, did you just start Instagram? I was like, no, dude. It's like, we've had it for years. Give me a break.
It's hard.
It is.
Anyway, hopefully you had a good time listening to us. Hopefully it's helped out. And until next time, talk to you later, you guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Cut. print. That's a wrap for another episode of the unofficial Universal Orlando podcast. Never miss a show by subscribing on Apple Podcasts and leave us a rating and review while you're there. Not an Apple user? You can listen on Stitcher, Spotify, YouTube, iHeartRadio, or your podcatcher of choice. Email us any questions or comments to podcast@uuopodcast.com. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Google+, YouTube, Instagram, and Pinterest. Just search UUO Podcast. Keep up with the latest news, rumors, and updates on our blog at uuopodcast.com. Thanks for listening. See you next week.